quickly about checking learning. This was kind of motivated by something I was talking about during a Twitter chat the other day. It was probably yesterday. How to listen. So teaching is one thing, learning is another, and we keep forgetting that all the time. So I want to quickly just maybe talk about 2 or 3 tips that we need to put into play when we're in the classroom, and what we need to do to check learning. Right? Firstly, the most important thing is variety, and we should check learning at least 3 times in a lesson, at least 3 times. And of course, how we check is going to vary immensely, right? So it could go from asking open-ended questions, not simple, do you understand, everybody's okay, do you have any questions, but rather really further or deeper questions that can get students to think about what happened or what they just studied. Maybe getting them to reflect as well, asking students to apply what they just learned to a real-life situation. So if they just learned something, about language, okay, how would you use that if you met someone, or how you think you would be able to use this in a real life situation, on a subway, on a bus, or you met somebody walking on the street who needed some help but who didn't speak your language. So that's one way you could always do it. Another way, of course, is getting students to summarize the main points of the lesson, right? So I think the main thing is always getting them to summarize, think of the main points that they covered. For example, if you're talking about natural disasters, they can make predictions about the weather and the environment, of course, using this language that they just learned. Another quick strategy could be dealing with quizzes. Prepare a short quiz. Students could ask each other questions based on the quiz. Or even better, you could get students to create their own quizzes and ask each other. So that way you could actually see if they really understood. So these are just 4 quick strategies I wanted to share with you, right? But the whole point, as I said, is if you you don't know if students have actually learned. And it doesn't mean that you taught it the last lesson before. That doesn't mean that they actually learned. So some good points to think of, all right? And we'll continue talking about that over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Take care.